If you ever wonder what Seb's mental asylum looks like,
Services will be spraying for infestation of Lock's elements.
Hello, Forsen. With all the shit going on with refugees coming out of Afghanistan right now, when will be the next stream where we will laugh at dead kids again? The good old times feels bad, man.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Hey guys, welcome back to a Halloween super spooky special episode of Slipping Out, in which we'll be taking a look behind the scenes and out of bounds of the original Outlast. Before we get into this one, I just want to say a big thank you to YouTube membership holder Storm and also Discord member Ant-Man, who both put forward amazing suggestions and curiosities that they wanted to see covered in this episode.
Why was his arm in the fucking
Alright,
chair?
so we arrive at Mount Massive Asylum, and after checking the cameras working, we exit the car and go for a stroll up to the front gates. But whoa, check it out, we have no head. Now, this may not come as much of a surprise if you've seen my previous Outlast 2 videos, but what is surprising is how the developers have made it look as though a head has been cut off, rather than nothing being inside here at all.
Internet Historian's new movie is out now. 20 minutes longer than his last video.
Wait, yeah, I've heard. What the fuck is this? Is this how does he do it so that he gets out of the body? How the fuck do you mod that? Cheat engine?
I'm not even sure why this would be, as we never see inside our own neck, unless at some point the plan was to do so. Maybe when Chris Walker pulls off our head, although that is just a theory. Whilst we're outside, we might as well take a look at the Sky Dome, and take a look back at the asylum too. Of course, the Sky Dome is flat, but I was surprised that there's not more layers stacked up in front of it. As from inside the map, it looks as though there would be more mountain textures and clouds here. One of my first mysteries to try and solve in this video was put
Mr.
forward by
Force,
Storm.
we politely ask you to get this game over with. Aren't you the dog gamer? Are you the dog gamer? Anyways, Mr. Force, if you are the dog gamer, then click this link. Anyway.
Shut up! No more legs!
She may
Stop!
have seen someone inside this window. However, after leaving
busy.
the camera here for a considerable amount of time, whilst I went and made a cup of coffee, on returning and checking the footage, it turns out unfortunately no one appeared. Oh, and by the way, the clocks in this game always have the hour hand frozen at 9, no matter how long you wait. Just in case you were thinking of trying that yourselves, I'll save you the bother. However, all is not lost with this mystery, as something that you may not have noticed, as it is fairly easy to miss and I only picked up on it on the second time around, could also be the mystery character Storm was talking about. He appears in this window just to the left of the main entrance on the first floor. But who is it? Well, you may have guessed, it is of course Father Martin.
That's kind of cool. I think this is cool that you can go outside. Obviously, it's cheating. But
throughout the game, there are
it's a
many
single-player game,
instances
so it doesn't
just
matter.
like the one we saw with Father Martin, where strange figures appear and sometimes disappear in the darkness or distance without us
for example,
really
when
knowing
you're
for
about to
sure
get
who they
grabbed,
were. It adds
spoilers,
great suspense to the game,
in a
as you
bookshelf,
never
bookshelf,
really know what's going to
fallen
be around
bookshelf
the corner.
thingy.
Here
the
are just a
monster appears.
handful of those moments, and it's worth noting that most of the time characters just spawn and despawn off camera, so I'm not going to be showing too much more of this throughout the video after this section.
Well, he is standing next to it. What? Oh, there it is.
And who are you then? I see. Merciful God, you have sent me an apostle. Guard your life, son. You have a calling.
Alright, so one of the cutscenes that was put forward to take a closer look at was this one involving Father Martin turning the power off, and I can confirm that both this and the Wall Rider videos are pre-recorded videos we see on the monitor. It's not happening in real time in-engine footage.
Yeah, no shit. The fuck?
I'm sorry, my son. I didn't want to have to do this to you. But you can't leave. Not yet. There is so much yet for you to witness. Will you see it? Can you? Our Lord, the Wall Rider, tearing his truth into the unbelievers. The only way out of this place is the truth. Accept the gospel, and all doors will open before you.
Whilst playing through Outlast, I couldn't help but notice that we don't enter all of the rooms. There are in fact many that we never get to see inside at all. Thanks to Ant-Man for putting forward some suggestions of these unused areas. First of all is what I always assumed was the main office of the administration block, and we see Chris Walker enter here. Now if you are quick enough you can just about get a sneak peek inside this room, which is probably why there are bits of furniture in here. However, room A125 was one I was never quick enough to see inside, even when the character runs across the hallway. Inside, however, if we take a look, we can see quite a number of items, including tables, seats, and even a bookshelf which looks as though it's been knocked over in a commotion. This particular security room in the prison section is one that I don't ever remember being able to enter at any point during my playthroughs, though it is fully modelled and strangely does have a collectible battery inside. Maybe I've missed something, so let me know in the comments if you've ever managed to get inside here.
What the fuck?
Talking of the prison block, there is a section of map we don't enter whilst in the courtyard, and this seems to be a replica of the section of the prison we were just inside, although what would be the corridors are blocked off by these large boards of wood. It kind of makes me wonder if at some point we would have been able to access this small section of map.
Probably some things were cut from the game. Or quite a bunch.
No more space.
Did you ever wonder what Chris Walker gets up to out of shot? Well, when passing through a certain trigger point in this vent, he heads over to the doorway, where he then waits until we hit another trigger point as we drop through the vent. Alright, so we're now in the main block of the prison, and when we make our way up to the second floor in this end cell,
Is there a boss
we can
in this
find
game?
one of
I
the
forget.
characters stood near the
Like final
toilets.
boss.
Now, I can only imagine what he's doing here, but he does look in a lot of pain. Maybe he got it stuck in something. His hand, I mean, obviously. Another request was to see how Miles looks when he enters the tiny lift that Traeger sends for him. As you can see, he does fit in surprisingly well. Only the bottom of his left leg sticks through the back.
You made a choice here, buddy.
Oh, this fucking scene.
You're the bullshit priest's guy, aren't you? His witness or whatever. You must be exhausted. Let's take a break, huh, buddy?
I think possibly one of the more popular curiosities requested was to take a look at what happens to Miles's fingers during this scene. Now normally whilst Traeger cuts Miles's fingers off, the camera pans up and looks away. However, though it may seem this is to stop the player from seeing something too gruesome to show, there is a more practical reason, which is to stop the player from seeing how exactly the fingers disappear. On the right hand, the finger actually bends away inside the character model, then disappears, whereas on the left, well, that just disappears. Here it is again in slow motion in case you missed it. See, it's not that gruesome after all.
I'm a close. That's who I am.
After escaping Traeger for the first time, he makes his way into this small room. We can never enter this room, and to be honest, there's not that much to see in here, but the room he spawns in later has a little more to show inside.
Oh.
Alright. I think it's pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff.